So by now, hopefully you have tried a few things in WordPress. If not, I would suggest you don't watch any further on the videos until you've made some pages and kind of know what things are about. But if you've been working for a while, maybe just a reminder that to get into your site, you have to go beyond just your URL, right? If you just put in the URL, that's what everybody sees who goes to your site. But if you need to do some adjustments on here, you just type in the word admin, admin at the end, and then it will prompt you to log in. When you are in the back end of your site, in other words, the dashboard, you at this point might be realizing there's a lot more stuff here, and you can actually, depending on what your workflow is, in other words, some people's sites will be blog heavy, some of them will be page heavy, but you can change the settings here. Like if you double click on any top category here, you can get it to collapse or expand. You can also move things around in here. Also, if you ever hear me in the video talk about something and you don't see it, it could be that it's hidden. And to unhide things, you go up to the top. Look where my mouse is here. There's this thing, you can only see the word screen right now, but actually it says screen options. And if you click on that, it shows you what things are on the screen. Right now everything is checked, but as you go along, or possibly even different themes may not have everything checked. So remember to always look there, and then if you want to collapse that again, you just go back to screen options and click on it. One thing we'll talk just a little bit more about here is on the left here on your dashboard, you see this thing says users, and when you click on it, there's a thing that says my profile. You might not be able to see, but I'm actually clicking on the word my profile. And then be careful about what you put in here. Um, this helps people find out who you are. So you may not want to give too much information, or you'll have people calling you on your home telephone number, right? The other thing that you get is a Gravatar, which is when you post on posts, it'll show this little picture, this digital picture of yourself. And depending on how far you want to go with that, you can click over here, go to the Gravatar site, customize your Gravatar. Be careful though, don't get silly with these things, because if they don't have a G rating, people can report you, and then you can lose your privileges to have this free website. So hopefully you're getting the idea that you can make this as easy and simple of a website as you want, but if you start searching around in here, you can find a lot of other things. So I'm going to try not to go into too much stuff that I don't think you need for this class. But just remember, if you have a question on anything, there's a chance I might know the answer to it. You can also just Google it. Google WordPress and then the thing that you have questions on. And just as a reminder, again, remember though, there are two versions of WordPress. There's this free way that you go here, but you can also take this technology of WordPress and put it in your site. So sometimes the answers you get might be for the other thing. In other words, one thing to be aware of, and we'll talk about different themes, you can choose themes that you want from within this environment, but just because you find a theme by Googling it doesn't mean you'll be able to use it here. If it's inside of here, coincidentally, yes, but you can't plug things into this free version. They're very, very careful about that type of thing, because they don't want to end up with bugs in the system. A couple more things that might be important to you though. Under settings and discussion, I would suggest leaving this checked right here. Comment author must fill out name and email. So that means if someone wants to make a comment on one of your blog posts, they have to put their name and email. This will save you from getting spam down the road, because otherwise just any old machine can just start bombarding your site with, basically ads essentially. Let's go over a couple of details about how you actually post things, including actual posts and pages. So let's do it from the pages. So this would be if you wanted to add a new page. So here, we've done this before, is where you click and type, and this is the content that will show up on the page. There's this little icon here that's called the kitchen sink, and if you click on that, it shows you just more options. Add media, this will allow you to add images and things of that nature. If you want to add videos, the best suggestion is just to add your videos to YouTube and then link them here because otherwise they want to charge you. Polls, I don't know too much about polls. I think that's literally like where people can poll and vote on certain things. And then contact form, we'll talk about this in a future video because you will want a contact form so that people can contact you on your resume if they want to hire you. But let's go ahead and talk about add media here. You click, so this is if you want to add images, click on add media. Now notice here that you have create gallery and set featured image, and then you've got all this other stuff here, tweets, YouTubes from a URL. But what I want you to focus on here is the create gallery. If we don't click on that and we just add some images, and let's see, I've got like a screenshot here. All I did was literally drag and drop, and what it does is it puts the stuff in the media file. And if you remember from a previous video, I had uploaded this as well. So now I have two things in my media library. And now if I go down to the bottom, there'll be a little box down here that says insert into page. And so right now it would just insert the new one that I added. But if I also wanted to insert this one, I can click and put a check mark next to it. And then on a Mac, I would hold down the command key to select this one as well, right? So if I click on it, it's deselected, click deselect to select more than one, be a click. Shift click also works. Shift click selects things in a row, but command, and it's probably the control key on a PC that would allow you to, select non-connected ones. So in other words, I can keep adding images to here, and we're talking about PDFs and I'm sorry, not PDFs. PDFs don't actually work that well, but we're talking about JPEGs, PNGs, GIFs. So there I just selected another one. If I click insert into page at the bottom, now you didn't see my mouse, but it was off the screen there. And then I go over here, and let me just see if I can make this a little smaller so you're seeing everything. Yeah, and I'll click on publish. This page is now published, and let's actually view on it. So I'll click on view page. And so not really yet that pretty, right? We've got all these images just kind of jammed in here. So that's maybe where instead of just dragging the images and clicking publish page, where you would want to make a gallery. So let's look at a different page where we make a gallery. So what I'll do is go back to the dashboard. I'll go into pages. Now I could go to that same page and edit it. And here's where things get a little frustrating sometimes with WordPress, is sometimes you're better off just to delete everything that's in the page and start over. And maybe we'll do that, but first let's just create a new page, and I'll just call this page with gallery. So this time we're going to click on add media, and here's what we're going to do differently is we're going to go to create gallery. Right now notice as soon as I clicked on add media, it took me into the media library. I could see what I had in here before. None of them are checked. I'll click on create gallery. Now whatever I want to be in that gallery, notice it's a different color than the rest, I'll just click on. Hold down my command key, hold down the command key again, and then it says create new gallery. Now I can, give names and captions and stuff like that, and I highly suggest you experiment with stuff like that. You can even change a look of the gallery and so on, but I'm just going with all the defaults here. And then notice the page looks a little bit different. You don't have a preview of the images there. That's because there's an actual gallery in there. So I just clicked on Publish. Now I'm going to click on View Page, and then this is what it looks like. Instead of the images just being kind of jammed in there, you get more of a thumbnail of them. And if you click on any one of them, it takes you into this type of view where now you can scroll through your images. So, and then you just escape key to get out of there. So this is what our page is starting to look like, or our website's starting to look at for each new page we add. It adds a page in here, and I'll show you later on how you can customize this. But what I think we should get to now is themes. So notice this is what the default theme that I set up, the way it looks, where the menu is, where certain things show over here, which we'll talk about getting rid of those and getting rid of some of this stuff in future videos. But the theme is the overall look to it, like the colors, what's displayed up on the top, how it's displayed. When you go to the blog, just exactly what the blog looks like, how much of the blog it shows, whether you need to click on the blog to see the whole thing or you just have to scroll through to get to the next one. So to change the theme, we're just going to simply go back to the dashboard and we're going to go to Appearance and then Appearance to Themes. Okay, now that you're in the theme area, you can see you can filter to show you all the themes or just free themes. So if you have no intention of spending any money on a theme, just click on free so that it'll filter out the ones that you would get charged an additional price for, which would state right here at the bottom. Like it's not like all of a sudden you're going to get a bill in the mail or anything like a surprise. But so you get an idea of what the theme looks like. And if you're building a portfolio site, you obviously want to stick with the theme that's pretty, I don't want to use the word plain, but that's not going to get in the way of your work. If you want to try out a theme, just click on it and click on Preview first. That'll just make it a little bit quicker so that you can see what your site would look like with that on. Okay, this one didn't change as drastic as I thought it would, but if you like this one, you click on Activate. If not, click on Cancel. It'll take you back here. Click on another one. And if you just click on it like that, you'll get some information, and then you can either click on Preview just to see what your content will look like in that page. So there's quite a more drastic difference, right? The menu's down here on the bottom. If you click on the blog, which I think this is a little goofy because you got to scroll down to see the blog. You usually want your users to know what's going on up at the top of the page, not to have to scroll down, but you get the idea. If I didn't like this one, I just click cancel and I keep going till I find one that I like. Let me see, I think, yeah, just hitting escape will take you back if it didn't take you back all the way. So you can see you have tons and tons to choose from, just depending on exactly what you're after. If you want one where you can put an image up at the top, then look for one like this. I'm going to click on Preview here, and you'll be able to see what this one looks like. So an image goes up in the top here, and then if you go to, if you activate this one, and you go back into the dashboard, you'll be able to find options where you can customize and put your own image up inside of here. So I think that's pretty good for right now. We'll come back and we'll go into more detail on other stuff soon.